Good morning, everybody. So my name is Adewale Adeife, and I work in cybersecurity. And basically, I secure your internet for you. And so, just before we get started, I want us to have your 5 hands up. Your 5 hands up. 5 hands up. If you use Instagram actively, you can put your hand down. One hand. Use Instagram actively. If you use Twitter, if you have a Twitter account and use it actively, you can put one hand down. If you use WhatsApp, even if so far you're in a family group chat, you can put your hands down. Just one. Okay. If you use Snapchat, in fact, you are keeping streaks, like 4,000 streaks right now. You can put one hand down. Okay, let me be generous with this one. If you use LinkedIn, you can keep your hands up. How many of you have 4 or 5 hands up? 4 or 5 fingers up. That means you don't use social media at all. So, one thing I want to make you guys recognize is if you have one finger, at least one finger or 2 fingers down, you're not as mysterious as you think. So whether you use WhatsApp, you use Facebook, in fact, I didn't even call Facebook because I think Facebook is for once you're above 40, that's your social media application. But I honestly feel that what I want to talk to you today about is something that is so important to your livelihood. It's going to determine your future. It's also going to determine how far you're going to go in life. Recently, things have been happening on Twitter. People post about certain things, then they go back to their 2009 and now pull up tweets. Or they post something on Instagram and they now go back to their 2005 and bring out their Instagram posts. So imagine you now, you're in 400 level, you're in 100 level. You're just posting like with your own ignorance. But 20 years down the line, you want to contest for, let's say, president of Nigeria. And they now bring out that post and say, is this you? One thing you need to know is that data is so important to your life. And that if you don't know how to protect it, it's like walking around the road without a bulletproof in Sambisa Forest. Because you are a target. And that's one thing I'm going to make you understand. So if you want to make impact in this life, you need to understand that your data is yours to protect and that you are already a target. You see, when you make a post on Instagram, when you make a post on Twitter, when you make a post on Facebook, there's something called algorithm. And the way algorithm works is, why there are certain things you want to view. For instance, I want to see my friend's post. Let's say 5 of you are my friends. I want to see your post. I want to interact with your stories. But the way algorithm works is, because of the way technology has evolved, your microphone, your likes, your conversations, sometimes even your thoughts have now influenced the way your social media feeds come upon. For instance, there's a particular trending shoe I want to buy. I have not spoken about it, but I've been thinking about it. And automatically, my Instagram and TikTok are giving me adverts of that. Now, when you are talking about, I want to eat this, I want to go to this place, I want to travel to this country, you're talking about with your friends, you're talking about your dreams, automatically, your social media is already created to a way that those things are now coming to you. So now, there's something called target marketing, where marketing agencies, for instance, you're not paying for Instagram. Instagram is free for you, beyond your data. So how do you think Instagram is making their money off you? They are making their money off mining your data, making you make decisions that naturally you would not have made. So it means that on my own, I would not have said, I want to travel to Seychelles. But immediately I start talking about, I want to go to a vacation to a place where I will just be seeing heaven and earth. Like, automatically, my next post, you don't have to think too far. Your next post automatically will be someone promoting seashells. So in that level of, there's something called intruding into your privacy. Because some of these things are even conversations you're having in your room, or conversations nobody knows about. But how do you think your social media applications know about these things? And so I'm here to tell you, not just as a cybersecurity professional, but as someone who has seen data privacy wreck lives, and the lack of data privacy wreck lives, that right now is something that you can be conscious of. But before I go on, I will just tell you one story. In about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, in Covenant UST, something happened. And some young girls just came out of the bathroom, and their friends, you know the way people can be in student hostel now, they have your friends right now have your funny videos. They might not show you, but they have it. And so these girls came out of the bathroom naked and happy, and their friends recorded them. She probably did not even know. And so one way or the other, some of you, if I ask you what's the password to your phone, your password is password 1234. Some of you is your name. When you now say change it, you put 1. Say change it again, you put 2. When you say change it again, you put 3. So you have changed the entire year, but it's still the same password pattern. Unknowing to these girls, their classmates came and took their laptop. You know the way some of your classmates even know your password to your laptops. The only thing they don't know now is the way to your house. They know almost everything about you. And so, these guys pick up this girl's laptop, just like you're picking up your classmate or your classmate laptop, and they went through, and they went into the forbidden place. And when they saw it, these are people, and the truth is, one of the reasons why you need to protect your data is that you cannot trust the intentions of those around you. You can only trust your intentions. And so what these guys did is, because of their malicious intentions, one way or the other, flash drive, they collected the video. And guess what? A week later, that video was trending on Twitter. So you need to ask yourself, was it their fault? Maybe not. But more importantly, these people did not protect their data. I would say that nobody should even be making naked videos of themselves or even having it stored anywhere. But if you go beyond that, it means that you have a responsibility to protect your data. So I'm telling you that you are an open book already. So now, how do these applications get your data, which is something that you need to understand? Number 1, there's something called what is being observed. Number 2, what is being inferred. And number 3, the one that you give them voluntarily by yourself. So when I talk about what is being observed, I'm talking about your GPS location. For instance, some of you, everywhere you go, they know. On your Snapchat is not even private. You have put your video on 0.5. Turn your back camera. I'm off to class. You are even putting your locations. Sometimes, even the time on the page, your scroll depth, your battery level, these are things that social media applications can know to make decisions about you. Let's talk about the inferred data. Now, inferred data can be a lot of things. There are some of you that your favorite thing is shawarma or whatever thing you like. Immediately you keep making that kind of order or you keep making that kind of purchase, you are giving them a track record of making a decision about you. And so there are certain decisions that can be inferred. For instance, some of you might be liking football content on Instagram or on TikTok. You will notice that because of the football content you are liking, they are giving you more football content to watch. So automatically, you are not now the one making those decisions. Because of your previous decisions, they are now making decisions on your behalf. But let's look at this last one. You see, you are not as mysterious as you think. So far you're on social media, even if you are the one that you know is to tweet, you only just to be laughing and be sharing to your friends. You are living in a glass house. Have you imagine a glass house where a house that is made of glass means everybody outside can see what is going on. Everybody inside can also see what is going on outside. That's the kind of world you currently live in. And so one of the reasons why data privacy is really important to me is that I have seen people make stupid decisions just off the fact that their privacy was eroded, right? And as young people, especially because you are in school, I want you to understand that you are currently in an age where you have not grown in maturity to the kind of decisions you can make. And so it is important that you don't make life-altering decisions right now. Do you understand? So as important as your passwords, for instance, some of you, it is important that you have what I call a multi-factor authentication on. Do you know what a multi-factor authentication is? What do you know what a multi-factor authentication is? So basically, if I want to log into my bank app, for instance, or I want to log into my social media application, instead of logging in with my username and my password, what they do is that after I've inputted my username and my password, they would send what is called a code to my phone or to my phone as an SMS. Or sometimes they can send those codes to a Google Authenticator app or a Microsoft Authenticator app. So I will have to use that code to what? To log in. Do you understand? And before you go online, most of the times, when they give you guys a view of something to click agree or not, you need to read those terms and conditions before you click I agree. Do you understand? So before you agree on any data, you need to be sure that you are not giving these people the license to make use of your data. Now, Instagram, TikTok, and most of these AI companies are getting so crazily good that they can predict your next move before you make that next move because of they have watched you over time. For instance, if I see that my friend has been coming out of his house 8 a.m. every day to go and jog, automatically on the Monday of the next week, I can predict that he'll be there 8 a.m. to 90% accuracy, and he will surely be there. And so, you must not give social media applications. The reason I'm saying social media applications is because you are not as public in any place as you are in social media. And so you must not give them the right to decide your future just by algorithm. There are certain things that you would not have bought. You know that shoe that you bought that you only wore once. You wouldn't have bought it if social media did not advertise it to you or you did not see it as a trend. Some of you just jump on every trend on TikTok just because you want to have the numbers. But you need to understand that social media is now becoming the real reason why people are being depressed. And so your data is as important and you must guide it with all your life. So now, there's something called data profiling. And the honest truth is, you cannot allow these social media applications profile you to the point where you are constantly making decisions that you would not have made in your right senses. A story is currently trending on Twitter. I don't know how many of you are not currently trending, but it was trending like 2 weeks ago. I don't know if some of you are currently using Twitter as often as I use. But the CTO of one of the biggest tech companies was just laid off recently. Why? Because of his constant, and to be honest, if you take the track record of the last 4 years, 5 years, he hasn't been that way on Twitter, for instance. But the truth is, you need to understand, if there's nothing that you don't forget, if there's anything you forget today, don't forget. Social media never forgets. Social media never forgets. So even if you have gone to 2009 and you were posting as you like, you just post chestless, you just post anyhow. Over time, you might grow, you might repent, you might turn a new leaf. But social media does not forget. And do you know what the honest truth? Even when you delete it, the applications themselves have what we call servers, where they have backed up all your data. And so when you delete something now, it is still recoverable. And let me now say something that you might not have heard. There's something called the dark web. And in the dark web, they don't sell clothes. They don't sell shoes. They sell your data. And so once your data leak, this is something, because I work in cybersecurity, I operate on the dark web sometimes. and you see data of people being auctioned for sale. Why? Because if I can have your data, I can coerce you into voting for someone you will never have voted for. If I have your data, I can coerce you into making financial decisions that you would not have made. And so it's important that you protect your social media or your data profile. And so privacy is a skill. It requires active maintenance, not passive acceptance. And so 3 actionable steps, and we are going to take those actionable steps right now. You need to ask yourself, is it worth the price? Every time you click, I agree, you are paying with data. You might not pay with your money, but once you sign up to that new social media application and you click, I agree, you're automatically paying with data. And so you must read the summary. Deny unnecessary cookies. Some of you use your Chrome or any of those browsers and you'll say, do you want these cookies? Do you want these cookies? Let me just explain to you what cookies are. Cookies are like, let me tell you what cookies are. If I had visited twitter.com, for instance, when they now say, do you want these cookies? It means that they are saving my data so that the next time I come, I can continue from where I stopped. That's what cookies are. And so you want to ensure that you are deleting all cookies. Because what if your laptop gets stolen? My phone was stolen 3 years ago, and these people entered my social media application and started begging everybody for money. And so by the time, I did not even get the account back, but by the time I got to my friends, this one has given 200K, this one has given 100K, this one has given 150K. And guess what? Why? Because I did not have a 2FA. So you need to ensure that you protect yourself well. Step 2. Now, this is something I want everybody to do. Go to your settings. If you use iPhone, if you use Android, I don't know about you. But go to your settings. Sorry. Go to your settings. Go to privacy. Number 1, turn off microphone access. Turn off location services. And also delete unused app. I know you don't know. These things are naturally just on by default on your phone. And so when you go to your settings and your microphone is on, when you are discussing with your brother, this PS5 will take money and buy it. Automatically, they'll begin to give you PS5 options. And so maybe you never have the money. They'll push you to have the money by force. And so you must do your app audit. Ensure that your microphones are not on. Ensure that your locations are not on. Because the thing about location on is, because your location is on, I can track you. I know how very secure Nigeria is now, yeah? So you must ensure that because Nigeria is very secure, your location is what? Off. Then step 3. Always have your standard apps that you use for browsing. Today, Chrome. Tomorrow, Mozilla. Tomorrow. Always have your standard app. So you are able to track your data. And so for me, I always use Chrome. Even on my MacBook. I barely use my Safari on my MacBook. I use Safari on my phone, but I use Chrome as my default always. Right? And so even if you are sending emails, you are sending whatnot, ensure that you protect your data. Your data is your life. Ensure that you protect your data. So now, every interaction you have on social media is a choice. You must make it yours to own. Do not just click, I agree. Think through it. Be sure. The reason I'm saying this is, you're at a level where you don't fully understand how the outside world works. And so you don't want to grow to a point where in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, you are now suffering for a decision that you made in your ignorance. And so before I go to the final slide, about 4 years ago, Mark Zuckerberg was invited over to the White House, or to the House of Reps. They call it, I think it's House of Commons also in the UK. And they invited him and said, why were you toiling with people's data? And he said, they read the privacy agreement. They accepted. And so even though it was coercing people to make decisions that they would not have made in their own right thinking mind. It wasn't right, because what you have already clicked, what I agree. And so I want you to understand, you have to reclaim your story. Your story is yours to reclaim. Your data is important. The same way you will not share your underwear is the same way you should not share your passwords. Your password is important to you. Don't be the kind of person that everybody in your room already know the password to your ATM. So even when they used to withdraw without even telling you, because we are sharing it. Data privacy is the kind of privacy that will be more important than having a private room. And I hope I've been able to convince you that you should protect your data. Thank you.